far beyond our blue planet. Past Mars and the swirling clouds of Jupiter lies a mysterious world covered in ice. It's not a planet, but one of Jupiter's many moons. At first glance, Europa might look like a frozen wasteland, its surface crisscrossed with dark lines and scars. But beneath that icy shell, scientists believe something incredible may be waiting in ocean. A vast, salty, global ocean that could be hiding one of the most profound discoveries in human history: alien life. For decades, Europa has intrigued astronomers and astrobiologists alike. The idea that a moon so far from the sun, so cold and distant, might actually harbor life seems unbelievable. But science is full of surprises, and Europa has slowly become one of the most promising places in our solar system to search for extraterrestrial organisms. It all starts with water. On Earth, wherever we find water, we find life, whether it's in the deep sea, in the soil, or even in boiling hot springs. Water is essential for life as we know it. That's why Europa's hidden ocean is such a big deal. Even though the surface is frozen solid, likely tens of kilometers thick, scientists have strong evidence that a liquid ocean lies underneath. The surface ice shifts and cracks in patterns that suggests movement from below. Some areas even show signs of chaos, terrain, regions where the ice looks like it has been broken. These signs all point to something dynamic happening under the crust. But how do we know there's actually water under all that ice? One clue came from the Galileo spacecraft, which orbited Jupiter in the late 1990s. As it flew past Europa, its instruments picked up magnetic signals that hinted at a conductive layer beneath the surface, most likely a salty ocean. More recently, the Hubble Space Telescope spotted what appeared to be plumes of water vapor shooting out from Europa's surface. If confirmed, these geysers could be spewing material from the hidden ocean straight into space. That would be an incredible opportunity. We're not talking about fish or sea monsters, at least not yet. More likely, if life exists there, it would be simple. Microbes, maybe something like bacteria, are the most probable candidates. But even that would be revolutionary. It would mean that life can start in more than one place. That Earth isn't unique. That changes everything about how we see our place in the universe. Interestingly, the environment on Europa might not be that different from some of the extreme places on Earth. Deep under the ocean here on our planet, far from sunlight, life thrives near hydrothermal vents, cracks in the seafloor where heated water and chemicals pour out from beneath the Earth. As crust, these ecosystems are rich and diverse, even though they receive no light from the sun. Instead of using photosynthesis, the organisms there rely on chemicals like hydrogen sulfide to power their metabolism, a process called chemosynthesis. If Europa has similar vents on its ocean floor, life might have found a way to survive there, too. The big question is whether Europa has the right ingredients. Water, obviously, is there, but life also needs energy and the right mix of chemicals: carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and so on. It turns out that Jupiter's massive gravity constantly pulls and flexes Europa, causing friction and heat within its interior. This tidal heating could help keep the ocean from freezing and possibly fuel underwater volcanic activity. If volcanic vents do exist on Europa's seafloor, they could provide the energy needed to support life. The surface also contains various compounds like sulfur and oxygen, which might get mixed into the ocean through cracks in the ice. Even with all this evidence in theory, we haven't yet found proof that life exists on Europa. But that might change soon. NASA is building a new mission called Europa Clipper, set to launch later this decade. It will orbit Jupiter and make dozens of close flybys of Europa, gathering high-resolution images, scanning the surface, and analyzing the moon's ice and thin atmosphere. One of the main goals is to find out just how habitable Europa really is. Europa Clipper won't land, but it could help locate places where future landers might go. Scientists are especially interested in those plumes. If they're confirmed, flying through one could reveal organic molecules, compounds made of carbon, that are the building blocks of life. Finding those would be a huge step forward. And someday, maybe a robotic probe will land, drill through the thick crust, and dive into the ocean below. That mission would be incredibly difficult and expensive, but it might finally answer the question, is there life on Europa? It's fascinating to think that we might not be alone, not in the galaxy, not even in the solar system. Europa is just one of several icy moons that might host oceans. Saturn's moon, Enceladus, is another major candidate, with its own plumes and hidden sea. These moons are completely different from the places we used to search for life. For a long time, Mars was the main target, because it's rocky and more Earth, but the icy moons have shown us that life might exist in environments we once thought were too harsh. The search for life on Europa also pushes us to ask deeper questions. What is life? Really? How does it begin? If we find alien life, will it be similar to what we see on Earth, or completely different? And if life started independently on Europa, that means it might start anywhere. Every planet, every moon, every star system suddenly becomes more interesting. It means life could be common in the universe, not rare and lonely, but scattered across the stars, waiting to be found. Of course, we have to be careful. It is easy to get excited and start seeing signs of life in every strange signal or blurry photo. That's why science moves slowly and carefully. Every discovery needs to be tested, repeated, confirmed. But even without finding life yet, Europa teaches us something valuable. The universe is more surprising, more dynamic, and more full of possibilities than we ever imagined. The icy surface of Europa reflects the sunlight like a mirror, cold and silent. But underneath, there may be warmth, movement, chemistry, maybe even biology. In the silence of space, under kilometers of ancient ice, a hidden ocean may be keeping a secret that could answer one of humanity's oldest and greatest questions. Is life hidden on Jupiter's icy moon Europa? We don't know yet, but we're getting closer. And when we finally find out, the answer could change everything.